This last part of vectors doesn't have a clear section in the book, but a couple of repetitive questions showed up, and these questions show up in past papers as well. It's when they ask you to find the distance between two different vector representations. So it could be between 2 points, it could be between a point and a line, two lines, a point and a plane, a line and a plane, and then two planes. So I have just compiled all the different techniques that you need to approach every single type of question. Although some of them are intuitive, you can sometimes they expect you to figure out the process by understanding how vectors work. So you can avoid these steps. You can also find alternative steps to these. So these are not the only methods that you can use. However, this is one of the methods, and if you just want a clear instruction step-by-step method to how to use to find the distance, I've just compile them onto one place. A lot of these are taken from this resource, so in these pages. So just to go through the most basic one, so I'm going to go through each one here and through one example, and you'll notice the numbers I'm going to use in each example are we've picked them specifically so that they're kind of all connected together. So if you have 2 points, then in 2D or 3D, you just use Pythagoras' theorem. So this is quite straightforward. Then if you have a point and a line here, so the point could be given this form and the line could be given in this form. So the first step is to write L1 in parametric form. And you want to consider the point x. So I will write x as 5. I will kind of, what we want to do is we want to pick a point on the line. So we're labeling it as x. So we're saying that this point x has 5 plus 3 lambda for a particular lambda, 9 plus lambda. So we're just writing it in parametric form. And then, so we are going to assume this point x is directly here, below point A. And what we want to do, because this will be considered the shortest distance, every time we're asking for the distance between a point, between two representations, there's always this straight distance between them. So in this case now, I need to find the distance from A to x. So I need to do x minus A. So if I do that, it will give me, so step 2, this is step 1. This will give me 2 plus 3 lambda, 3 plus 2 lambda, and 3 plus lambda. So I'm just taking this and minus the point there. And then, given that this is the distance, so the shortest distance would be something that would be perpendicular. So this line that connects them will be perpendicular to the line here, which means that if I take the scalar product of what I found here, so this is the distance here as it's represented. If I take the scalar product of this and the direction vector of the line, so the direction vector here, so this is the vector that I just found, and the direction vector, if I take the scalar product of them, it should be 0, because by definition of a shortest distance is the distance that is perpendicular to the line. So I will substitute the coordinates. So I will take the direction vector here. This is the direction vector. And I will substitute in the point that I found. So 2 plus 3 lambda, and then 3 plus 2 lambda, and not substitute in, sorry, we're doing the scalar product of this vector and this vector. So multiplying them together, and we are expecting a 0, so we're setting it up to be a 0. When you try and solve, this will give you lambda to be negative 15 over 14. So if lambda is negative 15 over 14, I will get this particular x that's directly below A, and then this will be the shortest distance. And so this point x, if I now substitute this lambda back into here, the point x is going to be 25 over 14, 34 over 7, and 111 over 14. So this is my point x, this is my point A. This is now the shortest distance between them. So I just find the distance using the normal 2-point formula. And the distance here is 2.43 to 3 significant figures. Okay, 2.43 units. You'll notice that a lot of the questions, we will always try and reduce it back to something like 2 points. So every time it gets too complicated, like 2 planes, we'll reduce it down to 2 points on a plane or something. So we're always trying to bring it back and then use one of the basic methods that we've already learned. So this is for a point and a line. You can have a look at the solutions here also. If you have 2 lines, then you need to consider if they are parallel. So you need to select, in the case that they are parallel, and you want the shortest distance between them. So what we will do is we select a point from one of the lines. Okay, so I'm gonna just pick a point from line 2. And I'm going to say the point is 1, 2, 3, because remember, this is a point on the line. And then what I have right now is a case of point and line that we just solved. So right now, I can rephrase the question and say, I want to find the distance between 1, 2, and 3, and the line 5, 7, 9, lambda 1, 3, 2, 1. And then continue with the steps. You can practice this right now. So it's similar to what we did previously, the point and a line. Now we're in this situation. And for this example, the distance should be 4.58 units. And you could do this the opposite. So you could pick 5, 7, and 9 as your points, and then you have this point and this line that you need to find the distance of. So we've reduced it back to a more simpler versions. Also, we can see the lines are parallel from the direction vector here. Now, if the lines are skew, you obviously need to check all of these features before you start. So if the lines are skew, you want to write each line in parametric form, and then you will subtract them. So we will call x1 the parametric form for L1, and that will be 5, 3 lambda, 7 plus 2 lambda, 9 plus lambda. And then we'll call x2 the parametric form of line 2, 5 mu, and 3, just 3. Then subtracting them together from each other, we will get new line. So what I'm doing x1 minus x2. And that will give me 4 plus 3 lambda minus 4 mu, 5 plus 2 lambda minus 5 mu, and 6 plus lambda. Okay, so now what we want to do, so we found kind of a point representing here, and then we found this distance between them. Remember, these are not intersecting, they're skew, so the visualization just turn it into 3D. So now what we've done is we've subtracted them, we found this portion that's between them. What we will do now is we will take the scalar product, so similar to what we did with points and line, but this time we will repeat it twice. We will take the scalar product of each of these, so from x1, with each of the direction vectors. Sorry, we will take this scalar product between x and each of the direction vectors. So this direction vector and this direction vector, and we will make them equal to 0 because again, we want it to be them to be perpendicular. So the same, they're all the same concepts, but we're just building up into a higher dimension. So this will be step number 2. So I will take x and I will take the scalar product with 3, 2, and 1 and make it equal to 0. And I will take x and multiply with 4, 5, and 0 and make it equal to 0. This will give me two equations with two unknowns. So this will end up being, and this will be, and then I have two equations, two unknowns, solve simultaneous. It will give you lambda as negative 41 over 15 and mu as negative 7 over 15. So now you actually have what these two coordinates should be by substituting the relevant lambda and the relevant mu. So for step number 3, you actually end up with x1 being negative 16 over 5 and 23 over 15 and 94 over 15 and x2 being negative 13 over 15, negative 1 over 3, and 3. So you have 2 points that are represented on the lines that satisfy these properties. So you have like where the scalar product with each of the direction vector is 0, and sorry, the distance that is between them has a scalar product of 0 with each of the direction vectors. So now the distance between these 2 points using Pythagoras is 4.43. And these are the steps in clearer handwriting. Now, if we have a point and a plane, if you're noticing, we're kind of starting the same every single time, but what we will do now is we will write the point that we have here in parametric form, but we will use the point and the normal of the plane as the direction vector. So we will write it as A is 3 plus 2 lambda, because the direction vector here is 2, 3, 5 for the plane. 2 lambda, 4 plus 3 lambda, and 6 plus 5 lambda. And what we will do now is, this is the point here, and what we're going to do is we're going to substitute it in the plane to figure out what lambda should be in this case. So by substituting in, we will substitute in the equation of the plane here, plus 3, 4 plus 3 lambda, plus 5, 6 plus 5 lambda equals to 10. And by solving that, it will give you lambda as negative 1. So if lambda is negative 1, then the point on the plane, I will now substitute here to get a point on the plane, and I will get the point being, so we're directly substituting here. We're substituting the negative 1, and we will get the coordinate 1, 1, 1. And all you have to do now is find the distance between your original point A and this 1, 1, 1 point here. So, and this will be 6.16 units. Okay, so what we did in the beginning, we found a P that's kind of related to 3, 4, and 6, but that is on the plane. And for it to be directly below, lambda had to be negative 1. And then we just find this distance between those 2 points. Now, if we are in a situation where we have a line and a plane, and this only works if they are parallel. If they are not parallel, you cannot find the shortest distance because otherwise they will meet, and then there is no shortest distance. So first check that they are parallel. In this question, it is given that they are parallel. So I am telling you they're parallel. So no need to check. So the way you solve it is you consider a point from the line. And in this case, I'm going to take 3, 4, and 6. So on the line, we have 3, 4, and 6. And then what you now have is a situation where you have a point and a plane. So we are back to point and a plane. Sorry, where in this form you have a point and a plane and you just find the distance between them. And for this example, coincidentally, it's also 6.16 units. If you want to look at the... All right, and the last type of distance is plane and plane. Again, only if they are parallel. So you need to check that they're parallel. We can see from the direction vector they are parallel. So you can pick any point from the first plane. And the way you could pick any point is just by substituting a value for x and y. And the easiest value you can substitute is to make x and y 0. So we will do that. So for pi1, for plane 1, if x and y are 0, then when I substitute in, it gives me that z is 2. So 0, 0, 2 is on the first plane. And then what we now have is a point on a plane and a plane. So as I said before, we're always trying to reduce these problems into something we've seen before. So we have a point and a plane situation. So we just follow the same process here. And you can see the steps in more detail here. So we take the point and we take this plane and we do the point and plane steps. So I've written this in parametric form using the direction vector here and then substituting in, giving me lambda as 1. And then when I substitute back into the equation, I get 2, 3, and 7. So now I just find the distance between 0, 0, 2, and 2, 3, and 7. So hopefully the video cleared up any confusions with these type of questions. Again, some of them you can intuitively figure out what you need to do. And some of them is just much easier to have these processes in mind. And remember, you're always reducing it down to something simpler and something familiar.